Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Devil's Arena. Here we have an amazing matchup between Unlucky and Rapture. We do see Unlucky on killer first. It's going to be Diego here on the Ghostface set on Leary. Should be really exciting here to see such an amazing match. It's going to need a lot of good comms here from Rapture in order to not have a sort of slugging fest, so to speak. Ghostface sets are definitely one of them where you need to watch what's going on. Anything can happen at any time. We do see a survivor. The Renato being caught out of position actually really early on. And we do see a tag on the Renato from Diego. Incredible knowledge and just memory here to predict the spawn location. Really incredible. We do see the Renato using the windows here really aggressively. Not wanting to drop any pallets. We see Diego actually going to look for a different survivor, going on the prowl as it would be to speak. We are going to see him going in crouch here. We do see Ruin and Corrupt, Sloppy and Painrez are going to be the perks of choice here for Diego. 1v1 should be really exciting to see what's going to go down here. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen, and hopefully, honestly, we're probably looking at about an 8 stage here. Rough estimate here on our killer, but it could be better, it could be worse. We're going to have to see what happens. Rapture is, of course, a very well-established team here. Very good EU team, as is Unlucky. So we do see a swing and a miss there, unfortunately, on that pallet. Good prediction there, not actually being able to turn into anything. We do see a pre-drop here. Bloody pallet stun right there on Diego. Going to feel all that wood there in the face. We're going to see the Renato making some distance here. We do see half of Stalk being used on game over. And right now, our survivors need to play really careful. Obviously, stealth set here. We're going to see some really good stalk here happening on the Claudette. Crow being exposed. Going to pre-drop that pallet. Not wanting to get a hit here. We see Corrupt Intervention almost being completely used up now. 2 minutes has gone. We do see Ruin being taken out of the equation right now. Really early on by Rapture. Pre-drop here as well on the pallet. We see Crow not wanting to risk anything. We see another survivor being marked by our killer here. Really devastating situation. The comms are on fire right now from these teams. We do see the Kate pre-dropping that pallet, not wanting to risk anything at all. Game over, being really cautious here against this Ghostface, not wanting to have any ifs, ands, or buts, so to speak. And we see a really cautious team here against this Ghostface. Really worried about the slugging potential here. Really worried about the strength of this killer. Diego may be very well known for his stealth sets. We do see some stalk here happening as well with the generator being worked on, being double stacked here. We do see some marking on this ace on Lux here. Gonna see some marking happening, but we do see quite a bit of distance here. Survivor can pre-drop the pallet as well. Diego leaving chase here, going for the Renato once again, who did get tagged earlier. We do not see a tag here, unfortunately. Did manage to mark out our Ghostface here. We do actually manage to see some good stalk here, but our killer's not being able to get any value from this right now. And it's a really bad situation. I feel like our survivors are outdoing him right now. Communication is on point from our survivor team, Rapture, and we do not see anything coming from this. The killer's not being able to get any value, not being able to get any hits or tags. And we do see a bad situation. We did see the one tag earlier on Rayun prior to this, about a minute ago. Right now, we're going to see potentially a tag on our ace here. We do actually see it down as he was marked as well. Lux is going to go down. It's going to be our first hook of the match. We are hopefully going to see 1 to 2 gens popping here as well. Potentially a basement play from our killer. Not too sure though, as there are survivors nearby. We might see some hits being taken. Maybe a pallet stun as well. Killer has to be really careful. He's going to hook in the main center of the map as well. He's going to turn that into one hook right now. Not too bad of a position from our killer. Survivors have played things really cautiously. As I did mention beforehand, it's kind of a bad scenario, if I'm being honest. Rapture is being really aggressive with these gens. Also being very cautious in regards to chase. Making sure they've got the communication on point. Making sure they know where our killer is here. Not wanting to be intercepted. Not wanting to have any early downs, give away any hits. They're treating it almost like an Oni set here. Hits are important and they're not wanting to give away any free hits, of course. So right now things are really interesting. We do see a tag here on Rayun. We are going to see an amazing attempt at getting the hit here. But we do see one gen being done, one hook, one fresh right now. Not being able to prioritize right now. See our killer right now stalking, trying to get some good advantage here on our opposition. Not being able to actually pull it off right now. Our killer really, really struggling. Rapture really being in control of this set so far. And we see game over being downed right now. And a bad position for Renato. He needs to get to a pallet, but there's none in this room. You see the Claudette trying to take a hit. Doesn't manage to get the hit in time. Claudette's going to take the window here as well. We're going to see a really, really good attempt here from the Claudette to make some distance. Take the chase away from our survivor on the floor. From game over, I do believe. And actually, it's Rayun. I stand corrected. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We do see some good potential here. We're going to see a second hook. Second fresh, but things not looking too good for Unlucky right now. I still feel like Rapture's in the winning position right now, with how they've been really careful and strategic with their plays so far. We are going to see the Claudette mind gaming and the killer completely ignoring the Claudette, going for the Renato here. It's going to be a really good performance. Diego is going to be going for this down. Going to try and get it. We're going to see somebody try and take a hit maybe. We do not want to see our Renato here going down. Here's the IGL in this match. We do see another gen being done. 2 gens right now for Rapture. Strong position. Really managing to get the best out of this Ghostface set so far. We do see a down actually from Diego. We see a 3rd gen popping. Rapture really, really on form here. It's going to be hard for Unlucky to combat this right now. It's a really difficult situation. And a 4th gen, ladies and gentlemen, from Rapture. Really showing who is the boss right now in this match. Killer being really, really stealthy here. Really looking for these other survivors, knowing they're probably stealthing, probably being really, really careful, really cautious here, not to get caught out of position, not to get tagged. We're going to go back and check on this basement hook here. I think, honestly, Rayun, the captain, the IGL here, will be looking to tell his teammates to just get the last gen done, take the 3 out, as it would be the best win case scenario for Rapture. Do you see Camp from the basement confirming kill? And it is going to be a confirmed 3-stage here right now. Potentially more. We may be looking at a 5-6 stage. Despite my optimistic view that we may see a 7-8 stage. Right now we're looking at a 3-stage confirmed. Going to be seeing chase happening here on our Claudette, on Crow here. Of all people to try and take a chase with, Crow may not be the best one. It's going to waste a lot of time here. Our killer may be struggling. Might want to look for a weaker survivor. Although, to be fair, this team is very, very efficient with a lot of comms. Our killers may be looking at a 5-stage max here. Maybe a 6. We do see our killer right now stealthing, trying to find these survivors who are in hiding right now. And it's a really devastating situation. We know that Jen's got high progress, about 70-75%. Looking for our survivors here. We do see a lot of broken pallets, a lot of resources being used. And yeah, right now it's a difficult situation for our killer. We see some scratch marks popping up here in this little room. Going towards center, we do see the Claudette Crow being almost exposed here, making some good distance, not wanting to give up line of sight here. We're going to see our Ghostface Diego really struggling to get that exposed status effect here. And we do actually see potentially an exposed coming in on the Claudette, but the Claudette has pallet, which is a good position. We see a total mind game here. Not gonna, we're going to be able to get it down, actually. And the last gen pops as well. Incredible play. Crow is going to be the black sheep right now, and he's going to be killed on hook, I do believe. And that these survivors are going to take the 2 out, if I'm not mistaken. We do see our killer here checking lockers as well. And it's really a desperate situation for our killer right now, as the unhook has happened on Crow. And we see a maximum right now, 5 hooks. It's a bad situation with them potentially taking the 3 out. Rapture really playing this really professionally, really calculated, real tactical team right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we do see that ending with a 5 stage and 3 fresh. We're going to go to an intermission here, or wait for the next match to be set up. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the music and relax, get a drink, get some food if you need to, and please tune back in. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Devil's Arena. We have the second half of our first set here with Rayun from Rapture on Killer. It's going to be a Ghostface set. We saw the previous result with a 5 stage, 3 fresh hooks from Unlucky. Good performance, but Rapture just put in a better survivor performance, more efficient. We're going to try and see if Unlucky can show them who's boss here on survivor and try and make a good win condition here. Maybe going into the second set. We do see some really interesting stealth plays here from Rayun on Killer. It should make things really, really interesting. We actually see a first mark here from Killer here, from Rayun. He's going to try and get a tag, but actually we're holding W here. Rayun is going to break the pallet, not wanting to waste any time. We actually do see potential here. Almost got him marked. Not good enough, unfortunately, about 80%. He's going to get 99% right now. He's going to hold on to him at 99, and we're going to go looking for other survivors. As we see Corrupt Intervention being used, Sloppy Butcher, Pain Resonance, and Eruption as a backup. Really good build here from Rayun. Really playing things aggressive, really cautiously, not knowing the potential of our survivor team, not wanting to play any chances or risks. We do see the... Oh, no, we see a fake on the kick, actually. Interesting. Split decision here from Rayun. We see 2 survivors on this gen in library. We are actually going to see some Stalk coming in. The 99% on the Nia. Really interesting strategy here from Rayun. 99%ing multiple survivors. I think we're going to be looking at a 4K3 result here, potentially. Might have been wrong with my 9-stage guess. Rayun playing things very aggressively. 99%ing all the survivors right now. We see Champion of Light actually being used from our Nia there, from Kahlua. Really, really interesting as we see it. Rayun is going to kick that gen, get some eruption value. Really, really interesting strategy from our killer. Not seeing too many Ghostface matches like this, I must say. But I think it's going to work. If our survivors don't manage to keep up the communication, we could see a 4K3, 4K4 result if they don't keep their eyes on this killer. If comms aren't sharp, if they're not on point, it's going to go nasty for them. And our killer Rayun here is going to benefit from that very heavily. And the result would be his team winning the first set, of course. We are going to see our survivors here being really patient right now. Trying to just be careful where they're placing themselves. Making sure not to get marked by the killer. Trying to work on this gen right now in center. We do see 1 mark. We do see the David marked. Monty going to get a tag here. There is a pallet. We do see a pre-drop. Killer going round. We do see a mind game and a V-line straight back to the pallet. Not trusting it, knowing the killer's breaking it. Going to try and look for a window vault potentially. We see our killer a little bit mesmerized here. Looking for multiple survivors as we see. We do have the 1 marked. Killer is going to leave them. Going for a different survivor. Not wanting to waste any time. Wanting to apply multiple pressure with that Sloppy Butcher in hand. Going to see a pre-drop here on the hallway pallet. David not wanting to risk anything. Do see our killer going back to main at the center of the map here. Really, really interesting match so far. Really back and forth. Survivors and killer really on edge here. Going to see another potential stalk here. Killer checking back, almost playing like a nurse here with the little visual check back on what's going on with the gens. Really, really careful, really cautious. Yeah, right now things are really, really difficult here. You're going to see a full-on tag mark on the Nancy. Going to try and get the down, but doesn't manage to get it. Actually, we are going to get it because of the misplay. It's only a one hit, actually, on Diego. Apologies for that miscom there on my part. We are going to see a hit here with Eruption on the gen. Beautiful to get this lovely setup. Maybe setting up a 3-gen here on this map. Very complex to keep comms on Leary's. Very difficult to set. You have to be really well coordinated as a team. We now do see a full mark. But actually, we already have an injured survivor here in the Nancy. We're going to see our first down here at 5 gens. Not making it happen right now, actually. We're going to mind game over this pallet. Going to go round. I don't know if it makes a distance. Our killer here needs a mind game. Do actually see a miss attempt at the swing there. Survivor wasting a lot of time. We do see eventually a down here, but it's not a good position. Killer, I feel, has wasted a lot of time. Our survivor should be getting 1.5 gens done at least by now. But something's up and it's not happened right now. We see Diego being hooked and Rapture right now prioritizing things because Unlucky is not being able to do anything right now. There's no value going on. There's no gens being done. I feel like our survivors are maybe almost working on a reset, but none of them are injured. So you must wonder what's going on. As to quote Marvin Gaye here, there's something wrong. What's going on with the situation? It's really, really bad. We see our Nia really mind gaming this pallet well, really holding distance. But we are going to probably see an M1 tag here at some point. Haven't seen the unhook happen on Diego yet. We do see another gen popping. Finally, Unlucky actually getting something done. But right now, yeah, the value doesn't feel like it's there. We see a misplay here from our survivor from the Nia. An M1 down with the exposed data threat. It's going to lead to a one-hit down here. Very bad situation. And I feel like Rayun is a lot more patient than our survivors. Because our survivors not being able to do too well right now. I feel like this set is actually going to go to Rapture, but it's going to be really slow played out right now. This is your first hook here. Second hook even, I apologise. And it's going to be 2 hooks with 1 fresh. No, I stand corrected. 2 hooks, 2 fresh, ladies and gentlemen, and 2 gens. Really, really difficult scenario here right now. You see a beautiful head-on play here, though. From what I can only imagine is the David. I could be wrong. It's actually not the David, it's Niam, it's the Claudette. I do know this player quite well, if it's the one I'm thinking of. They're in the 1v1 scene quite a lot. They do dedicate a lot of their time to comp. And very, very unique player. Offering a lot of potential here. Interesting to see Unlucky recruiting them. We do see a missed attempt here from Rayun. Very difficult 50-50 to win. And our killer right now not wanting to waste the time. Wanting to keep an eye on these generators. Wanting to go back to this hook to keep an eye and see what's going on. We do see some potential here, but yeah, Rayun right now just proxying this, really looking around for another survivor, knowing something's going to happen, checking that time, having that mental stopwatch in his head to know that it's time to check on that hook. Really good place here from Rayun. We do see a confirmed second stage here on the Nia, which puts Rayun in a much better situation. We do see 2 gens being done here from Unlucky. Not a bad situation here. Although bear in mind, our killer only has to do 2 more hooks to get a tie condition. So it's not like he's in a bad situation. Our killer here can pretty much sit back and chill, get a few more hooks, and he's pretty much tied the match, the set. So it's really interesting. I almost feel like he could go for a slugging condition here. And our killer is really enjoying himself right now. We do see another gen being done, but if I'm being honest with you, the hooks are outweighing the gens right now. As we did see a really slow start from Rapture here. So it's a very devastating situation to be in. I wouldn't want to be Rapture right now. There's a lot of pressure. Although the comms are really good with this team, they are really efficient. They have been really slow to start the match in terms of gens. And this is punishing them right now in the kind of middle 75 percentile of the game. We do see a really, really slow approach from them. And our killer Rayun really is prioritizing on this. And there's not much more to say about that topic. Rayun is dominating right now, and our survivors need to find a way to change the tide and make things shift. Otherwise, we're looking at a win here for Rapture. We are going to see him breaking the pallet here as well. We see the mark up on the Claudette, I do believe. We are going to see a tag. Claudette not injured yet. 20% left. We do see the chase on the Nancy, actually, on Diego. Difficult situation to judge here. Like I said, we do see Unlucky with 3 gens being done. Gen and library about 60% here. We're going to see a multiple mind game here from Diego at the McDonald's takeout position, as I like to call it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want any burgers, this is the place you go. We are going to see basement not being in library, unfortunately. And we are going to see a hook in kind of mid-map here, actually. Really good position for Ryun. Going to see 4 stages right now. He only needs 1 more to make tie condition. Rapture in a very good position. Unlucky in a bad position. Unlucky, honestly, right now, needs to get these gens done. Not worry too much about this hook right now. But the problem is that our killer Ryun here is so on point with his spotting, his ability to be able to stealth out and find his survivors, be able to mark them, get the tags. And right now, Rapture is in a great position. And Unlucky not being able to deal with it. We're going to see a fifth down here, 5th hook. And right now, this puts us in tie condition. It's a really bad situation to be in. Unlucky, well, they need to get the gens done. They need to leave. It's the best situation they can do, which would be a 6th stage, I think. I stand corrected, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, if they leave and get the gens done, it will be an 8th stage, actually. Bad situation to be in, which would mean they lose either way. There isn't a situation here where they can potentially actually draw. Really, really aggressive playstyle they would have to use and be able to utilise to actually get the draw here. And it's almost impossible, in my opinion. We're going to see Rapture taking this win. We do see a slow, thought-out process here from Ryun. We see an almost chess-like playstyle, marking up, keeping an eye on this hook, knowing how important it is to play on this. We do see the Nancy there, actually. He's trying to stealth. He's going to be caught out of position. Going to go for a mind game, I guess. Diego going to be caught out of place. Not too good of a position. We're going to see the attempt at the unhook. Multiple mind games here from Ryun. We do see an M1 tag. We need to see the other survivor taking the hit, but he's not going to be able to get lined up in time. And actually, they do swap positions here. Really good communication here from Unlucky. We actually see the other survivor who just came off hook going to take the tag. Ryun right now counting down from 10. It's 3, 2, 1. And we do see the down here on Niam. He timed it as well as I did. Beautiful down here from Ryun. This hook here is going to guarantee the victory for Rapture. And mimicking the firecracker prediction, Ryun really on point. Really, right now, one of the best killers EU, in my opinion. As he does actually manage to, right now, confirm what is going to be a winning scenario. We do see the chase happening on this Nia. She is exposed. She is a 1-hit down. We do see the Ghostface breaking the pallet. There's a lot of pressure on this generator. Maybe 90, 92%. And we do see... We do see a beautiful chase here. With the exposed happening on the Davids. And kicking the generator, getting some eruption value here. We're going to see a confirmed 7th stage right now. And the last generator being popped. And that's another fresh here as well. Looking at 3 right now with only 4. I stand corrected, ladies and gentlemen. You see 4 fresh. A really good position for our killer, with Rapture winning this set right now. And getting the locker play from the Nia as well. It's a bad situation to be Rapture. I mean, it's a bad situation to be Unlucky, as we do see Rapture dominating here, getting an 8th stage as well. Do you see the kick on that gen, getting some eruption value? Do you see that last gen popping as well? Beautiful performance here with Unlucky really putting the pressure on and getting that last gen done. We do see the exit gate being propped open. We are going to see potentially the down on this David. Beautiful down here from Rayun on Monty on the David. See the Nia semi-exposed here. It's a bad position. She needs to try and get gate, try and leave. But there's no pallet to use. We do see the mind games here at the window. It's going to be a one hit down. Might turn this into an 11th stage here. We do see it down. 2 slug. Diego surely has to leave. Otherwise, try and get the reset. But it's really dangerous here. Our killer really on point here. Not managing to get it, and actually I think it's going to be a 4K. And some double teabags here. Going to see a 12 stage here from Rapture. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is Rapture versus Unlucky. Welcome to Devil's Arena. We have a nurse set here with Rayun on the killer. Should be really devastating. We saw this player previously in our last match. Had a really devastating Ghostface set, and I'm excited to see what he can do on an S-tier killer such as the nurse. Should be really, really good. We do see Corrupt Intervention being used along with the traditional Undying and Ruin combination. Some Eruption as a backup value as well. We're going to see a tag on this David first off on Monty. Going to go through Shaq, and it's going to depend how this killer plays this out. Shaq is always interesting as a nurse. Actually, we do see our killer changing direction, our survivor even changing direction here. I do apologise for that miscom on my part. And we see our survivor making some distance here. See some scratch marks here, but our survivor very much trying this unique pathing. And our killer does unfortunately miss the swing there. Do see Undying being taken out of the equation of this match. Killer relying right now on what is going to be 2 perks as of a couple of seconds time. In 30 seconds it'll be 2 perks. We do see our survivor David going comp corner, just admitting the defeat here. So we're going to hope that our survivor team here, Unlucky, is going to get 2 generators done out of this. That would be the proposed idea. You don't go comp corner unless there is going to be some good value taking out of it. So we should see 1.5 to 2 generators being done as a result of this. And we do see our first hook here for Rapture. It's going to be a really strong position here. And I'm eager to see what can happen. We do see our first gen popping from Unlucky. Rapture in a very good position, as I did state, with that first hook early on. Things should be really, really aggressive. I'm excited to see a nurse set between these 2 teams. Both very equally stacked, with Rayun being the IGL for his team, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. We are going to be seeing some aggressive plays here. Getting a tag on a Claudette. I would maybe say it might have been worth putting Sloppy Butcher on but the blinks from this killer actually might contradict that. We do see a BT hit on the David. It's going to be a confirmed down here on the Claudette. Forces Locker. Our killer being thrown off here by the debuff. And our Claudette has managed to actually make window. Killer not wanting to waste time here as well. We are going to see a blink into the nether, into Water Tower here as we see. And he's going to be keeping an eye on his gens, keeping an eye on his 4-gen scenario. Our killer really calculated here, almost like a chess game from this killer. Really on point with the movements. Going to see a confirmed second down on the David. See a second gen being done. I feel like Unlucky's in a better scenario here. Going to have to see a confirmed kill to change the tides. But right now, Rapture not in the best position, if I'm being honest. With an expected result on Nurse being 4k2, we do see some unique balancing here. We see 3 items instead of 4, as per Devil's Arena rule set, which I am still getting accustomed to. This does weaken the survivors and strengthen the killer slightly. But yeah, we're not seeing our predicted 4k2 right now. Pending some crazy miscom from our survivors here on Unlucky, it's looking like a 4k1 might be the potential is what's going to happen. You see our Nia kind of stealthing here. Edge map. It's actually an Ada. Stand corrected here. I'm legally blind, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not really, but you know what I mean. We are going to be seeing Niam not taking chase anymore. Killer going back to this generator. Really, like I said earlier, working on these gens. Keeping an eye out. Looking for a more strategic play. Our Nurse playing this very much like a chess game. Very strategically. Keeping an eye on these gens and wanting to force the survivors into an awkward position, so he can get the benefit of the doubt and manage to get these downs. Going to see another tag coming in on the David. We are going to see a double blink here from Ryun, resulting in that tag. We do hear the ruin on that generator. Killer not caring, wanting to confirm a kill here on David. We do see a really slow blink and a down. I do feel like there would have been time actually for our survivor to get the pallets done there. I'm not sure what the play is to not drop the pallet. Maybe saving resources for our other survivors later on in the game, maybe mid-game, end-game scenario. We do see a double down here, double slug. Survivors, I feel like they're throwing right now. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but this is a bad scenario. See a second fresh here and a third hook in general. Diego being downed. We do see another gen being done as well from Unlucky. They are really dominating the survivor standpoint, but we do see some miscoms and chases, which I question. So we're going to have to see if they can bounce back here. We do see that David being hooked as well, confirming in death. It's going to be a 4 hook with 2 fresh right now. Bad situation to be in, if I'm being completely honest with you. I'm not sure the best way to say that this is going down. I still feel like 4k1 is the best predicted result right now. We do see some miscoms on our survivors, and Ryun, of course, capitalizing on this. And we do actually see potential down here on the Nia. We see a miss swing and the firecracker. Definitely throw our killer off here. So he had to adjust blink, mid-blink here, in order to not get stunned by the firecracker. Really good tactical positioning from Ryun. Unfortunately, it did result in him not being able to get the swing on the Nia. So, really difficult scenario. Really good strategic plays here from our killer. But the end result is he couldn't get the hit. Couldn't get the tag on our Nia. Very unfortunate here, but good plays to be able to avoid that firecracker. We do see the T&L wall here. And our Nia is still trying to take chase with Niam, I assume, on a generator. Gonna see no tag happening here. Really unique pathing here, and we do see a 4th generator pop from Unlucky. Unlucky actually dominating this quite well. Our killer Ryun here in a bad situation, not being able to get the tags as he would want them in quick succession. So yeah, right now it's a bad situation. We do see our killer here going for a blink as well. Only 1 gen left to be completed. We do see some aggressive plays here. Our killer getting the hit on the Nia. Really, really impressive right now. Needing to get this down. It needs to be happening in the next 30 seconds. Or else we will see that gen popping and Rapture being in a difficult situation in regards to the next half of the set. And potentially struggling. And we might see things go to a tiebreaker here if our killer can't confirm it down in the next 20 to 30 seconds. And we do actually see it here in the next 18 seconds. Has managed to get that down. We do see really strategic standpoints here. Going for the slug. Ryun on point here. Wanting to apply as much additional pressure as he can. Niam right now currently probably stealthing. If I'm to best guess the situation, Diego may be working on that last gen. We do need to see some spread happening from these survivors to prevent a snowball here. We do see a reset happening as well. Potentially that could have been Diego. We are going to see a confirmed situation in a moment. Our killer going back to the last known location of the survivor. We do actually see maybe Niam was the one who did the reset. Diego working on the gen. I got the position swapped, unfortunately. Doesn't really matter though right now. We do see some impressive plays here from our survivor. We do see a first tag here on Niam from our nurse here, Rayun. And it's a devastating scenario. Swing and a miss here from our nurse. Gonna have to go back and check on these gens. Keep an eye on this spread and this situation. Gonna go back and keep an eye on these gens as I did predict. Do you see that last gen popping? Currently unlucky in the better situation of the two halves here, with managing to get that 5th gen done against a nurse with a predicted what should be a 4K2 scenario, with the current rule set maybe even a 4K3 scenario. So right now, yeah, really difficult situation. Our killer struggling, unfortunately. It's a tough ask right now. We're going to see a 2 out and potentially a 6 stage. Doing 60 teams, Mallow. Like I said to you before, I'm crazy. You have gone above that. 60 teams is crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Devil's Arena. We have the second half of our nurse set here with Diego on killer for unlucky. We saw a really impressive performance in the past match. And we're going to see what Diego can do here. Looks really promising. We see the exact same build being used. It's almost like they copied each other. But hopefully they didn't, because, you know, eye symbol. I'm kidding, I'm playing. Maybe great minds think alike, perhaps. We are going to see Corrupt being used here. Chase on the Rayun, on the Ada here. Hopefully going to make some distance here. We do see really good mind games, really good positioning from our nurse here. Knowing spawn locations is a really good ability in comp. It's a very good memory thing to be able to predict where people are going to spawn. We do see the Rayun, the Ada, sorry, being caught out of position and being downed. I feel like right now, with the speed of this match, I feel like we're going to go tiebreaker. I feel like Unlucky has got the upper hand. We did only see a 7 stage in the prior match even. So with the way things are swinging right now and the momentum, I do feel like it is going to be one of them situations where we're going to be going tiebreaker. And if we do go tiebreaker, I'm going to ask the lovely Mallow to commentate with me, just because. So we'll see how this goes. But if we go tiebreaker, there will be 2 commentators. And I think it will be very exciting. So we're going to have to wait and see. And Mallow's going to be on the edge of our seat with the popcorn, waiting to see as well. We do see a blink here near main. Very unlucky, pun intended, to not be able to get any value out of it. We are going to see the unhook happening. The Ada making some distance here. And the killer with a lock eye tunnel vision here on the Ada, wanting to get the down. Does manage to get it on Rayun, and he's going to go for an early tunnel out here, actually. I really feel like right now our killer is in a good position. Diego is going to be confirming a tiebreaker condition for his team. Can anybody say cracked nurse main? Because I can, and I'm seeing it right now. It's really substantial. We do see generators being progressed here very heavily. Do see some undying value with the aura. Killer not being able to make value out of that swing. Does miss. We do see 1 generator being done by Rapture. It doesn't feel like it's going to be good enough right now, though, as we are looking like we're going to be going into tiebreaker. Unless the tides change, unless we see the Eye of the Storm here happening from Rapture, it's a bad situation. With a really good totem spawn here, what I've just noticed on Ruin. Yeah, difficult to say the least. We do see a beautiful down here on Game Over on our Kate. Killer right now slugging. Going back to check on this hook. Going to be looking for a 3 slug. Going to blink into it. Going to have to use a double blink. Does get caught in main. Not going to be able to make the distance. We see a beautiful flashlight of my Claudette, who is injured. Crow 1v1. Going to be going down. We need to see our killer tunneling out Rayun here to be able to confirm this tiebreaker. And Rayun is healed, is healthy. We did miss a For the People play there. Let's get an M1 tag. Dangerous situation with the 2nd gen popping. Rapture trying to bring this back. We need to see a confirmed tunnel out for Unlucky to stay in this. Really difficult situation. I'm not sure what to make of it right now, as we do see things heating up here. Somebody's cooking in the kitchen, and he is called Diego. And honestly, if we can see this Rayun, this Ada being tunneled out, yeah, it might be game. It might be tiebreaker, but we do see a mess up with the blink. Diego, what is he thinking? Not being able to make the distance, messing up the swing here. As we do see our Ada making some distance. We need to see somebody coming in here to take a hit. Otherwise, we're in a bad situation. We do see a beautiful down, not being able to get the pallet in time. It better be a DS play, or else I'm questioning what's going on. And we are actually going to just see a down here from Rayun. From Diego even on Rayun. Going to see a basement hook. Does put the killer at a bit of a disadvantage, as having to blink out the basement can get you suctioned in. Not happened here for our killer, actually. See a 3rd hook from Unlucky. Only 4 more to confirm a tiebreaker. Devastating scenario. Need our survivors right now working on gens as aggressively as possible. As I say that, we do see a 3rd gen being popped. 4 more hooks, ladies and gentlemen. Count it with your fingers, as we do need to see a tiebreaker happening for Unlucky to remain in this contest. We are going to be seeing our killer unoptimally looking at 1 gen. Not considering the rest of the gens around him. He's actually going to change back direction. Going to fake here, holding near water tower. I think this is a bad call here. Nobody's on this gen. We do actually see 4 gens on the bottom side of map. Our killer needs to be focusing on, as well as his hex totem. I think it's a bad play to look on that 1 gen there. Our survivors would only be disadvantaging themselves. I feel like he took some pills and they very much didn't benefit him. He had a really bad thought process here. So right now we see our killer getting back into shape, locking in here. And we are actually going to be seeing a gen with high progress being regressed by Ruin right now, as well as Undying coming back up as well. We do see our killer wondering where our survivors are. I kind of think they're mid between these 2 gens. No point looking at the locker here. They're clearly stealthing between these 2 gens, between main and between the other gen as well. Maybe they're going to be working on Ruin, taking it apart. But mess up on the blink, actually, from our killer. Now, that's going to waste him about 4 seconds of time. Could be really crucial in the ultimate result here. We do hear a gen being done, but no regression sounds. I feel like our killer maybe not on point with his audio cubes here. That gen was being worked on, and there was no regression from Ruin. They are actively on that gen, and he has left them. So it's a bad scenario right now from our killer. He needs to really be a bit more optimal with picking up audio cubes, because that could cost him. That gen could pop, and he could put himself in a worse situation. I'm not too sure about what's going on here, but I feel like our killer isn't in an optimal mind state. We do actually see a tag here on the Kate. I don't know if it's going to be good enough. I feel like our survivors are working on these gens really retroactively. And yeah, we do see a confirmed down in comp corner. I think we're going to see the last 2 gens as a value out of this. We do see 1 more gen being popped. I don't think our killer is going to get 4 stages from 1 hook. We do right now see our killer blinking into center, keeping an eye on these gens. There is a lovely 3 gen here. There's a bit too much distance to actually hold it, even for a nurse. I think he's going to struggle. We do hear the gen, and right now, yeah, it's a dangerous situation. Survivors like these aren't going to be stealthing. I think our killer fell for the bait, so to speak. We're going to see the unhook happening. It has indeed happened. Yeah, it's a really devastating scenario, and I feel like, despite what I said at the beginning of the game, ladies and gentlemen, I think Unlucky is actually going to be taking the L for this set, as the momentum and pace is definitely slowed down, and it's swung into the favour of the survivors. Yeah, it's a really bad scenario for our killer right now. He's keeping an eye on these totems, but totems do not win you the match. Not when survivors can be this aggressive on gens. We do actually see an amazing hit on Crow, and we're going to see a down, not being able to drop the pallet in time. That's going to net him maybe an additional 1 or 2 hook stages. I don't know if it's going to be enough. It's going to be really tight. We do see a prediction swing there. predicting a pallet save. Going to get this hook near mid, near main here. But is it going to be enough, actually? I'm not too sure about this. Do see our killer going for a hook. He can't actually make, I don't think. There's no agi here. I don't think he gets distance. We do see the wiggle out as well. Really an optimal decision here from Diego. He could have hooked to the right, would have got it. But he went in for a center hook, which, as a comp player, I feel like personally you should know the distances between the hooks and whether you can make a hook or not. He didn't measure that well enough, and his crow was wiggled off as a result. We do actually see this gen being really actively worked on. A few mistakes have been made here from Unlucky. Rapture hopefully going to compromise and manage to get the gens done. Because, yeah, it's a bad situation from Unlucky. The few misplays he has made, which has only been 2 or 3, might cost him the match here. It's a really devastating scenario, and we hate to see it. But, yeah, I think Rapture's going to be taking the win here for sure. As we see right now, a 3-hook difference. And that's just for a tiebreaker, ladies and gentlemen. That isn't even for a win condition. So it's really difficult. We don't see a no-ed here either to back him up, to hold him in the pocket, ace in the sleeve, as they say. Nothing he can bounce back on. So really devastating scenario. We are going to be seeing our killer keeping an eye on these gens, not being able to make much value, not being able to find survivors, as we do see him stealthing. We do see maybe an attempt on taking out that totem near main. Going to get suctioned in a little bit. Not going to be able to make the distance right now, unfortunately. Do see the Kate there as well. And we don't see Crow. Do see a miss blink, not being able to adjust mid blink, and is going to get fatigued because of it. We do see our killer trying to keep an eye on this 3-gen. And I do feel like it's going to be that top left gen what's being worked on. As we see main with no progress here. And the killer trying to keep an eye on his hex totem, which we do see Crow at near. Maybe trying to linger and get that totem. Aren't going to be able to get the prediction well enough to actually get a tag. Crow toying with his opponent here. Just holding W, making the distance. We do see a beautiful pre-drop on the pallet and a flashlight blind. Our killer not having the muscle memory to be able to get the down. Or our survivor being able to make the distance while flashlight was happening. We do see that last gen being done. This is surely going to make it impossible here for our killer to get an additional 3 stages. Therefore resulting in the win going to Rapture. More than likely, pending some act of God here, it's going to be a win for Rapture. Beautiful performance here so far from the team. Do see the Kate coming in to take the hit, but doesn't manage to. We actually do see Crow getting downed. An additional 2 hooks right now is still going to present a subpar scenario. Playing really aggressive here, as they do not want to 1v1 each other. So we're going to see some really unique plays here from killers and survivors to avoid that 1v1. As they say, as my friend Titan would say, no balls. And we are going to see a beautiful dash here near main. Our killer sees a lot of scratch marks here. Actually going to be seeing potentially a tag, actually a free drop. Oh, and he gets the tag on game over on the Kate. Just dropped the pallet in time. Bit of a ping issue there, similar to the skill issue earlier from Diego, as was prior mentioned. We do not talk about it. I mean, I just did, but whatever. We are going to see chase on the Rayun on the Ada here, and it's going to be happening near logs, not far from Shack, with Corrupt Intervention still up. Beautiful combo here with Ruin and Undying, and Eruption as a backup value as well. Going to see a beautiful mind game here, as we see our Kate in a bit of peril. We're looking to see the first gen being done in the next 30 seconds. Otherwise, it could be a bad situation here. Do see pallet being broken by power there. And our Kate running out of resources. We do see that pallet's already been dropped. We're going to have to get the window. We don't see light. And we do see a beautiful prediction here from Diego 1v1 and leading to the down here. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you have just tuned in, this is Devil's Arena. This is tiebreaker scenario. Blight. Diego 1v1 on killer for Unlucky, and we see our first hook coming into play. With 1 gen being popped here from Rapture, devastating scenario, wanting to put so much pressure on our killer. It's unbelievable. Like I said, they all want to avoid that 1v1 situation. We know they're scared. Comp players or not, we know what's going on. I just play, of course. But we do see one gen being done with one hook and one fresh here on the Kate. We do actually see Ryun being caught in a compromised position here near this Z-wall. Gonna hold it into this pallet gym. Gonna pre-drop the pallet here as well. Actually gonna mind game it. Gonna get some distance. Gonna turn into actually not a missed attempt. We actually get a tag and a second gen being done as well from Rapture. It puts them in a really strong position with these gens and not enough hooks to back it up from our killer Diego 1v1. Yeah, really bad scenario with a beautiful mind game. Going to go back to Shaq here. Going to protect this and going to have to block. If our survivors are still in basement, going to have to body block. Doesn't even go for it. Just gets the tag. Not quite sure what our killer's doing here. Bad predictions in my opinion. I don't play killer that often, but body blocking at basement is potentially one of the best strategies you can do to waste time and to confirm some downs, and our killer not bothering with it right now. I question his judgment here. As long as he can turn this into a 4k2 or a 4k1, I will no longer question this killer. But right now, some of his plays are questionable. We do see a pre-drop with the pallet here. Getting 10 wood here. Not enjoying it either. I highly doubt it. We do see a down on Ryun as well. Gonna see a second hook here. Like I said, slightly a bad situation for our killer with Rapture being the main priority and dominating right now. It's really bad. We need to see our killer picking up the pace here. Second hook, second fresh. Not ideal for our killer, especially being a Blight set. He should have a lot more pressure right now. But it's a really dangerous situation. We are going to be seeing our killer checking, holding a good spot here between these generators and this hook. Kind of holding a mid-map position, as we do see the unhook is going to be happening in the next 15 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. Our killer needs to keep an eye on this, keep tabs on what's going on. It's a really difficult situation as the hook is placed kind of mid-map, so our killer has to hold position here, try and keep an eye on the gens on the hook, and it's going to go down to how well he can multitask as to whether he can hold this position. We do see a third gen being done here from Rapture as well. Rapture really personifying Survivor, Survivor domination here. Really a well-organised team, well-versed in this situation, well-versed in communication. You can actually see a 1v1 trade with an M1 hit here. And yeah, not much the killer can do, but just commit to the slug or get the Kate. And he just picked the Kate, he just picked the fresh. We're going to go basement here, and I can only imagine the situation here is going to be... We do see a pre-swing there. I can only imagine the only situation here from our killer is going to be to camp this.
Probably right about it, not gonna lie, since that it's gonna be a pretty hard situation. We do have to keep in mind the fact that game over is on the second hook stage. He needs to play this properly, otherwise this is gonna get really problematic, really tricky real soon. Right now we have a beautiful region on this side here, on the bottom side, not gonna lie, this is actually playable. We do have to keep in mind the fact that this is actually a fortune. This is actually insane. This is going to get harder for the survivors, but maybe they will be able to make a crazy comeback out of this. No, it's actually a region, not a fortune. My apologies for this. But at the end of the day, we do have to consider the fact that this alone can change the whole match here, can make it way harder for the survivors. They're gonna go for the chain hit, or not gonna be able to get it. Ryan seems to be in a good position. He's gonna try to go for the trade here. He seems to just go for it. He wants to send it. He wants to go for the safe play. And right now we're gonna be able to get the trade here. No, Ryan is not gonna decide. No, actually he decides to do this interesting strategy. He's not gonna be able to get it. And we're gonna get a beautiful down on Ryan here. We're not in a miraculous situation, but I guess sometimes it does happen. Ryan pretty much played himself here, which is not the best moment. And right now Daigo seems to be able to make the change of his life. He's gonna be able to go for the camp. He's gonna be able to do the kill here. He's gonna confirm a kill. Very beautiful play, very beautiful situation. We are gonna go back to the basement here. He seems to check these generators. He's making sure that everything is going under his way. And right now we're gonna be able to take the next tag. Oh no, we're not gonna be able to take the tag now. We're gonna try to extend this chase for a bit longer. And right now seems we are gonna go for the basement. He's more interested to take the chase on the basement side. He's gonna try to go for the body blocks. He's not gonna be able to get it. Right now he's gonna take a hit out of Fasty. Ryan is gonna try to go for the body block. He's gonna get hit. And right now Ryan seems to be in a bad position. He's gonna try to do his best. He is in a bad spot. He will try to go for it. We're gonna go for the mind game. We're not gonna gonna be able to get the distance, and we're gonna take the down on run. Very beautiful play, very beautiful situation. Right now we're gonna get the DS, but will it be enough for Ryan to do something out of this? Right now we are gonna see the DS going away. It's a very hard, very controversial moment. We are gonna get another. Oh, the DS! Not the DS, sorry, the Death Heart. Very amazing gameplay, very beautiful situation. We're gonna be able to extend the chase for a bit longer. Ryan seems to be in an amazing position. He's gonna try to do his best. Right now we're gonna go for the chicken mind games. We are gonna see Daigo going for this mind game here. We are gonna get the generator done, and the 3 gen is officially over. Very beautiful play from our survivors here.
I think our killer has definitely stepped up his game. It's definitely become more aggressive. We do see the 4th gen being done by Rapture. The question is it going to be good enough? Our killer's definitely stepped up. Definitely been able to get some more downs. Definitely decided to camp and proxy basement. We do see a confirmed kill here on Ryu, and it's a 2v1 with 1 gen left. And I must say it's unoptimal for our survivors right now, Titan.
This is a possibility. We do have to keep in mind the fact that this may turn sour real quick. We do have to keep in mind the fact that this is no longer a 3 gen, which is going to get really, really problematic, really tricky real soon. We do have to keep in mind that Daigo is in not the worst position of his life, to be honest, but it's not the best one either. We are gonna go to check the generator. I think that it has a lot of progress. We're gonna see some scratch marks, and right now we're gonna take over the chase with another potential prey here. Luke seems to be in a bad position. He's gonna try to do his best. He's gonna try to go for it right now. We are gonna see the chase unfold. Luke is in a pretty good position. He's gonna try to do his best. He will go for the safe play here. He's gonna try to go for the pellet. Right now we are gonna drop it, and we are gonna go for the cracker. We're not gonna be able to make value out of it. We're gonna take, no, we're not gonna take the hit. We're gonna take the pellet instead. Very lucky moment, very lucky situation. We are going to be able to extend the chase for a bit longer. Lux is going to be able to extend this very, very good moment. We are going to take a free take out of Lux, and he will be able to reach the pallet here. We will try to play this as safe as possible, and we are going to go for the swing here. He's not going to be able to get it. We're going to get an amazing pallet stand, and right now we are going to try to go for the corner play here. The basic corner play, very good strategy from Lux, very good moment. I think that one more generator is about to blow off. This is something that we do have to see if it's gonna be the case or not. And right now we are gonna see, oh, that's crazy value out of untying. That's actually insane. We are gonna take the last chase with Fasty. Fasty seems to be in a pretty bad position. He's gonna try to do his best. Right now we see him having no pellets. He has only the Z-Wolves. The Z-Wolf champion is gonna try to do his best. We're gonna go for the mind game. We're gonna get it down here, and right now we are gonna finish this with a 4k1 result, which is a good result at the very least. So good job, Daigo. You were able to show us your skill, your capabilities. The survivors did an amazing job as well. Maybe if they were able to finish the last generator, this would have been better for them. But at the end of the day, it's not a bad result. It's not a bad situation. But it's gonna get harder soon for them. But with this out of the way, we are gonna get a 4k1 result. Very good play from Daigo, very good play from the survivors. As I've said, we are gonna go for the person that is on the slug here. He's on the ground, and we are gonna be able to get him. We are gonna go to put him back to his place, back to the hook. We're gonna slam him directly to the hook. But a very beautiful play, very amazing gameplay, and I'm really proud of these players here. I hope to see such gameplay in the final set as well.
I think it's going to make things really interesting for the second half of this tiebreaker. Personally, I want it to tie at tiebreaker so we can see this 1v1. But we'll see how it goes, I guess, Titan.
That's a possibility. We do have to wait and see how things are going to go. We do have to keep in mind the fact that the survivors, if you can tell me which team is Daigo from, it will really help me. Unlucky?
Yeah.
Is this really
They're
their
very
name?
unlucky. They have bad luck, bad juju,
That's
bad
actually,
karma.
they are. I see. Oh, this is going to be something very interesting. We do have to keep in mind the fact that this may get hard really, really soon. So we can't wait to see how things are going to unfold. But yeah, with this out of the way, we are gonna get the 4k1 result in here. A very beautiful play from the killer, very beautiful play.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Devil's Arena. This is the second half of our tiebreaker set. It's going to be a Blight set. We do see Rapture on Killer here. It's going to be Crow 1v1 on the Blight. It's going to be amazing. I'm really excited to see this go down. We did have a little bet between ourselves that if it goes to a tiebreaker, on the tiebreaker, both teams will do a Trapper 1v1 with no perks, and the best time will win. So I'm eager to see that happen, and I personally hope it goes tiebreaker. I'm sure these teams are wanting to go against that, so we're going to see a really aggressive performance. We previously saw a 4k1 result from Diego 1v1 on the Blight, which was a really aggressive performance with a really good result. We're going to have to see how things go here in this set. We do see an early tag here on the David, and it should be really promising. We see some beautiful mind games. I still think we're going to see a down here regardless, but right now with some beautiful, beautiful mind games here. And we are going to see things turning around. We do see a mess up from our Blight here, unfortunately, from Crow. Some unique pathing, definitely throwing him off, not being able to make that swing. Our David, though, not going to be able to make a pallet, unfortunately. We actually do see a pre-drop. I stand corrected. Commentator's curse as I eat my words, ladies and gentlemen. We do see Undying there, I do believe. David going to go down in comp corner. Going to get some value here out of this. Going to go down, wasting about 10 seconds to the killer. So I'm going down in comp corner here, and we see a beautiful down here from Crow 1v1. We do see one generator popping out of that beautiful value here from Unlucky. We see a confirmed first hook and first fresh here from Rapture as well. Our killer right now deciding whether to keep an eye on this gen or whether to proxy the hook. And we do see him going centre map here near main to force the survivors off of the gens, to push them off of it as it was to be. We are going to see our killer right now going back to check on this hook, going to check to see if the pull is happening. Kind of mid-checking, needs to keep an eye on his point of view, needs to keep an eye on line of sight here. See whether an unhook's happening. It's a bit too early. He's a bit preemptive here, unfortunately, as nobody is lingering. We do see some very unique comments in the Twitch chat, which I will not say anything to. Each to their own, but we do see a beautiful down here on the Nia. It's going to be a 1v1 trade, which I'm sure Crow will be very used to, as we do see a second hook and a second fresh here. We are going to see our David once again being hooked. He's going to go basement here, unfortunately. Bad situation, and it's not really going to benefit our killer, actually, unless he camps, because it's kind of awkward to get our basement as a Blight. So we're going to see him trying to get some distance, going top side of map with another gen popping. Unlucky really doing well here, and my co-commentator Mallow might be correct in saying that Unlucky might be taking the win. I'm not sure here, to be honest, as Rapture is struggling on killer right now, with Unlucky doing a third gen, and the current win con being a 4k1. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a difficult scenario here for Rapture.
Yeah, it looks really, really good for Team Unlucky. Team Rapture has some problems. Team Unlucky has to pop all gens when it's the win for Team Unlucky, and I think they can do this.
And we do see the killer here breaking pallet with the slam. We do see our Claudette here, Diego, managing to make some distance. Going to try some unique pathing to mind game at this TNL. Does double back and hold that check spot really, really well. Our killer mind gaming it as well. Going to see this turn into potentially a down. We do see a fake and a fake again. Some beautiful mind games here. This is what you love to see in combo. We do see a down with that M1 hit here on Diego. Our killer going for the slug right now. Really needs to keep an eye on this basement hook and confirm a kill to get a good win condition. And we are going to see that confirmed with a third hook here for Rapture. And actually, I stand corrected, a fourth hook. I apologise, ladies and gentlemen. A fourth hook here for Rapture. And 2 fresh right now. A good position, but it's a difficult one, considering only 1 gen more needs to be popped for a tiebreaker. And he needs to get a 4k. I'm not sure if this is doable or feasible. We're going to see what our killer here, Crow, can cook up. But it's not looking ideal right now. We do see a misplay here from Crow. Slightly bumping off of that wall and bouncing back. Not being able to get any targets, any survivors, or any downs in regards to that. We do see a beautiful down here on Diego. I don't think it's going to be good enough. He needs to slug here to apply additional pressure, especially with only 1 gen being left to pop. Can be able to get a beautiful tag here on Niam. actually very, very good here. And we do see Nia being reset. We still see a dangerous position though with the one slug. And right now we see Crow having to keep an eye on this. Gonna have to see the down happen. We do see a firecracker, but our killer with muscle memory manages to still get the down despite a firecracker. Absolutely incredible. Going to be going basement here. Actually, our killer not going to opt for basement. I stand corrected. He's apparently very reluctant and has decided to actually go for basement. Maybe that mid-second decision, mid-second switch here is going to penalise him, and we're going to see the gen pop potentially out of it. We do see our killer really in an awkward situation, trying to keep an eye on these gens, specifically one with a medium amount of progress. We do see a tag on the Nia. I kind of feel like that was slightly luck here, as the gen hasn't got a lot of progress. So maybe he was looking for a reset spawn, and he's actually managed to find the Nia there. So a really good prediction here from Crow. I almost said Rayun. Really good prediction here from Crow. And right now, yeah, things definitely improving here for Rapture. Still not sure if it's good enough to get this win con. We do see right now a 6th stage with refresh, and it's still looking like it's going to be difficult. I see Unlucky picking up the win here, but things can change in comp, matches can be thrown, and teams can miss comp, so anything is of course possible, but things aren't looking very ideal right now. We are going to see a beautiful mind game here. One slugged, one hooked. And we do see Niam. And we're going to see maybe a 4K2. He needs to pre-drop this pallet if there is one. There isn't one. We do see a vault. We do see a life play. Really difficult scenario. It's looking like the win is going to be happening for Rapture. We are going to see a confirmed death here. Niam needs to get that reset or else it's going to be a GG's. He does manage to get the pallets done. Another hook here for Rapture with 7. And we see a 4K2. Mallow pending a deliverance. I think I'm going to get to say I told you so.
Please no. Yeah, I think Team Unlucky has a bit unluck in this. They were really, really good, but when at the end many mistakes happened, so it was a not easy win, but it wasn't much easier.
Alright, we're
win
going to see this
for
now
Crow.
with Diego. He's either going to have deliverance or he's not. And we're about to see, I suppose. Nope, no deliverance. Unlucky. We do see the nodders here from our killer. 4K2 and Rapture is taking this. And it's going to be a win for Rapture.